Also going to our political editor, Andrew Clennell, who might be in lockdown, but not being locked down from getting the yarns. Andrew, I'm worried to ask you this. Could be concerned about a close contact within Parliament House. Are we all going to have to join you there in ISO? What's happening?
Well, not Parliament, but Canberra, Tom. So what I've established in the last few minutes is that there was an attendee at the Adam Marshall dinner in Sydney on the Tuesday night, or we're calling it the Adam Marshall dinner because he's the one who identified to have COVID, that budget dinner, who was in Canberra last night and has been asked by New South Wales Health to isolate for 14 days. I've spoken to this gentleman. He's from the Pharmacy Guild. He was here to attend a Nationals fundraiser last night, or a Nationals event, and he was around Keith Pitt and Darren Chester, is my understanding. His name's David Heffernan. Now, he's being told to travel now to Nowra, to drive straight out of here and get a test. And obviously, if there was any concern with that test being positive, then he would have to contact all those people who were at this function and that he saw around Canberra last night, and they would be in strife. So that's the news I can bring you now, Tom, that essentially someone who was at that dinner where Adam Marshall was in Canberra last night, saw politicians and other people around Canberra, and has been told to isolate for 14 days and test.
Right, that test obviously will be the crucial one. If it's not positive, you'd assume he's a casual contact and that the contacts of him are okay. Andrew,
well,
except
with this, and we'll talk, Kieran and I will talk more about this in afternoon agenda, you're not treated as a casual contact. He has to isolate for 14 days. So that's the thing. There is a double standard going on here, and Kieran and I will expand on this more in terms of the treatment of people from the strangers dining room in afternoon agenda after question time this afternoon.
All right, we'll delve back into that. Just to clarify what I was suggesting, I'm happy to be corrected here, but if he is negative, yes, he still isolates, but people he's spoken to then, i.e. Darren Chester, Keith Pitt, would not be treated in the same way. You'd have to have him being positive for them to be in that lockdown situation, presumably.
Well, that's his belief. That's his belief. I don't know what the rules are around it, but he's been told to isolate for 14 days.
All right, we'll get more on that, no doubt. If there's a city, Kieran, that mingles, where if you can sort of, 5 degrees of separation, you can round up the whole of the parliamentary triangle. A lot of people go to similar sort of places too, so it would be the sort of thing that could sort of rip through democracy pretty quickly.
Well, indeed, and as Andrew says, it's one peak group, Pharmacy Guild, but they make representations to all levels of government. You saw that within 48 hours of those two examples that Andrew brought to our viewers there, from Macquarie Street to Federal Parliament. This is the last sitting day for ahead of the long winter break, both in New South Wales and in the Federal Parliament. So I think the presiding officers will potentially, like a lot of other people in Canberra, be breathing a sigh of relief when MPs return to their electorates, and hopefully don't have any cases out of that report from Andrew Clennell just there.